I am going to be painting some pots today, so come along with me. I decided to go with celery to paint this pot. And I know a lot of people do lots of different treatments on clay pots. They make them look like they're sand blown and whatnot. I'm not going to get all that fancy. I'm just going to paint the pot. Looks good. Okay, since that's going to be blue, I think I'm going to go with this Radical ballet slipper right here for the top. We're going to go pink and blue. That'll look pretty against the blue. Uh-oh, ruh-roh. It touched a blue spot down on the paint that's wet. Okay, thank goodness paint is fixable. I got these stencils at Dollar Tree. It looks to be well covered. Okay, we got red paint above and below, so that's a lesson learned. I'm going to do a lot of touch-up here, I can see. Okay, so now I'm going to take the L. There we go. I'm feeling yellow. I don't need much. You know how the favorite saying is, bite me? I've been known to use it on occasion. And meant it. Yep. It was my favorite thing to say at LabCorp. I'm telling you what, I need to write a book about that place. Oh my good gravy. I'll just share one little story with you that will give you an overview of how radically insane this place was. I get a phone call. I was the team lead. I get a phone call from Kansas because they're firing everybody over there and moving them over to where we are, and they're downsizing the place. So we're going to be getting this employee. It's a guy, and the woman says to me, "Keep your eye on him. He's dangerous." And I went, "Okay, thanks. Oh, goody goody, after all I've been through already." Which it was a lot by the time this guy came on board. So he gets there. The guy was majorly Dudley Do-Right on steroids. God love him. God love him. We actually got along really, really well because we had something in common, and that was called guns. He loved guns, and I don't love guns, but I grew up with them. I know all about guns. I know how to shoot guns. I'm actually a really good shot. And so we bonded over guns. But this guy, he had a chiseled jaw that was just mammoth. He walked like he owned the universe. He cracked me up. I mean, I just was hysterical. This guy was hysterical, the cartoon character that he was. And so Anyway, he comes into work all the time and he's telling me he's got a list. I just put her on my list. I'm like, okay, you put somebody on your list, yay for you. You know, not really paying too much attention. And he had told me about this barrel that he had bought for one of his assault rifles. This thing was a 4-inch barrel. It was huge. And I'm like, you could fire a rocket, you could launch a rocket with that thing. Like, yeah, I mean, he couldn't wait to get it. And he's showing this to me on the work computer. Keep that in mind as I tell you this. So he's showing this to me on the work computer. Well, then he comes into work one morning and he comes right over to my desk and he has his tablet, like your Kindle, that kind of thing. He has his tablet and he pulls up a picture of the barrel. It's a huge barrel. He goes, I got it. And he's petting the tablet. He's so in love with this barrel. I'm like, it's cool. And he keeps adding people to his list. Well, on a Friday, I think it was in March, April, I'm not sure when. The time all blurred together working there. He comes, I'm getting ready to leave for the day and he was going to be working later. And he says to me, it was a Thursday, you might not want to come into work tomorrow. You might want to call in sick. Now he's talking to the team lead here of the department, which was me. And I'm like, and why would I want to do that? Well, you just might, my list? I said, yeah. He goes, well, you just might want to not come in tomorrow. And I went, okay. And I walked out of the building. I'm trying to remember the chain of events, how it all went down. I think I had a meeting that afternoon with my boss and the other team lead in our department. And I really wasn't, you play this around in your head. Do I tell? What do I say? I was a whistleblower. Nobody liked me there because I was a whistleblower. The whistle needed to be blown and I blew it. I wasn't about to sit quiet on some of the things that were going on. My conscience wouldn't allow it. I go into the office and our supervisor hadn't been our supervisor for very long, brand new to the company. To us anyway. I don't know if this person was new to LabCorp or not. And I'm like, do I tell this person or not? Well, I decided that I need to say something. And this person just laughs and goes, oh, I've had to deal with this before. No worries. I'm like, okay. She goes, we got it covered. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go home and I get a call from the supervisor. And she told me that they had brought him into the office. They questioned him about the situation. And as I recall, he wouldn't confirm or deny anything. So they walked him out the door and they gave him paid leave while they investigated the situation. And I'm like, oh heck, we're in trouble now. I called the police and I told them the situation and they said, we already know about you. And I said, what do you mean you already know about me? Your supervisor called us and told us to keep an eye on you. And I was like, whoa. He goes, we've got somebody stationed at your house. You will be escorted into your job every single morning. And I was like, by the cops. The cops were escorting me into work every single morning. And they did that for 3 months. We had the FBI involved. Of course, he never did come back. And in the meantime, I ended up leaving LabCorp on their request, thank God. Get me out of there. Because I would have stayed. I would have stayed and put up with the stupid abuse. And so anyway, he ends up losing his job there. I don't know if he was planning on blowing up the building. I don't know if he was going to come in with weapons and dynamite strapped to his chest and try to blow people away that were on his list. I wasn't on his list, thank the good Lord. But that's just one incident of stuff that went down where I worked. And so I could literally write a book about it. I need to go get a brush so I can make an explanation point. All right, what do you think of that? Doing DIYs in this kind of space environment is really, it's a lot of fun because it's a major challenge. So this is where I'm working right here. Got the camera facing straight down. Now, I could have put all these paints away, but I didn't. Here sits my stencils that I'm working with. Got scissors sitting there that really don't need to be there anymore. I've got more paint sitting here. I have to get a piece of wood out that I keep two pieces in here because the covers that went on the sink, pardon my dirty dishes, the covers that went on the sink, they warped and broke, and I don't have any anymore. And oh man, do I miss them because they really helped with having a lot more counter space in here. So I grab a board and I threw this up here. And then these are the paint brushes that I'm working with. There's some more paint. And then these are my palettes sitting here. And then paintbrush, stain. So I think I'll clean this up and then we'll go from there. A little hard to see the word plant, but there it is. And then me. So now we're going to add to this. So these are some more stencils that I had gotten at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use these. So we're going to put this flower right here. Trying not to get up into the flower. Oh, that is really pretty. Isn't that beautiful? That flower turned out really nice. Isn't she pretty? What a beautiful butterfly. There. That looks good.